What up my people, how you doing? My name's Matthew and I am your everyday techie, and we're back with another video. And in this video I'm going to talk about why I upgraded from the iPhone 10 to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So the iPhone 10 came out in 2017. It was the one that came out with the new design, no home button. It was quite a massive step for Apple on their 10th anniversary, but it hit the scene with a real big heavy price tag. Yes, it was the first Apple phone to push that blooming price over $1,000 or £1,000, whether you're in the UK or the US. Either way, expensive blooming phone. But prior to that, I'd basically been in cycle for about 3 years, and I just wanted an upgrade. So I grabbed it up, and it's been a pretty solid, nice experience, man. The phone's bad boy. It's a nice phone, but it's now 2 years old, and there's a new kid on the block, and that is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So I seen the keynote not too long ago, a few weeks ago, and even though it isn't a radical change, because let's be real, if I put these next to each other, okay, you're not even really going to know whether or not this is the 10S or the X. You only know it's the X because I've told you. And looking at this front on, you don't know whether or not this is a 10S Max or the 11 Pro. So why did I go for this upgrade? So let's start off with the displays. On the 10 you get a 5.8 inch Super Retina HD display. On the Pro Max you get a 6.5 inch Super Retina XDR display. Both phones are covered in Gorilla Glass. I would imagine this one is stronger than that because it's a new form of glass. The differences in form factor, apart from the size, come in on the back. On the iPhone 11 Pro Max, you've got a matte finish, which is, it just looks nice and it looks clean. There's no writing on there. They've moved the Apple logo down to the middle of the phone, and it's got a matte finish, so you just don't get all the fingerprints like you do on the 10. And gosh, I'm having to clean this, but it's hard to keep the fingerprints off it. Even though it is a beautiful phone, it's a blinking fingerprint magnet, but it's also a fingerprint magnet that at the time of launch was worth over £1,000. So if you rock any of these phones without a case, then either you're a big baller and money isn't an object, or you're off the blinking locker. So looking at the sides, they both got the same key and button layout, both have a stainless steel trim, both have lightning connectors. The iPhone 10 is, you know, the speaker grills, a better format. They match a lot better than on the 11, but you know what, I'm not fussed as long as it sounds good. That's all I'm bothered about, and I'm not looking at, that's just, you know, to the detail. But both are beautiful phones. The significant differences are in the camera setup. On the 10 you've got a 12 megapixel wide angle and telephoto camera. This is a solid camera. It's capable of bokeh effects and it does a really nice job. I have not got no complaints. In low light it isn't the best, but it really is a solid camera. On the front we've got a true depth 7 megapixel camera capable of filming 1080p HD video at 30 frames per second. So switching over to the 11 Pro Max, we've got a 12 megapixel true depth camera which is capable of shooting 4K video at 60 frames per second. Now that is absolutely mental. That's mental, that's a big deal. We all know that Apple is the video champ when it comes to video. On the 11 Pro Max, we've got a triple 12 megapixel ultra wide, wide and telephoto cameras. The ultra wide has a f2.4 aperture. The wide has a f1.8 aperture, and the telephoto has a f2.0 aperture. On the 11 Pro Max, you've got night mode with auto adjustments. On both, you've got dual optical image stabilization. But I would say in 2019, both of these phones are absolutely fantastic at what they do. Okay, massively fantastic. Let's look at the form factor and usability. And going to this phone, it was just absolutely brilliant. We've got reachability, which makes getting to the top of the screen very easy. You know, it's just fluid. Really nice phone to use one-handed. And if it's a stretch, you just pull down the screen and you can get to all of it. Move on to this monster in 2019. Even though, like I say, I've been used to using these phones, guys, this is just a different kind of animal. So please just be aware that even using things like reachability, I haven't got the biggest hands, granted, but you know, even using this, you're not going to be using this one-handed. So, you know, it's a two-handed phone. Using it two-handed is much better. Writing text and all these things, especially with their new swipe texting, it's alright, but it is. You do need a case on it. You need something that's going to give you some grip. Check out my case video in the description below. But yeah, it's a big phone. But that is why I wanted it. I wanted a bigger screen, but at the time I wasn't going to upgrade from the 10 to the XS Max because to me there wasn't a big enough difference. The battery wasn't massively, you know, crazy, and yeah, it is a bigger screen, but there just wasn't enough to get me to upgrade, and I don't really like upgrading in yearly cycles. It's different if you're a techie and this is what you do for your job, but you know, if you're not, with Apple it doesn't really matter because you're getting the same experience. There are some upgrades, like the screen is slightly better on this, it's brighter, the speakers are better, obviously the camera's better, and now the battery is an absolute beast. But so far as the experience, you're comparing apples to apples. This one has the A11 first generation Bionic chip with neural engine. This one has the A13 third generation neural engine chip. And listen, let's be real, this is still an absolute monster. It's gonna manage updates like a dream for years to come. So guys, just because I'm upgrading, if you are on something older like a SE or a 6 or whatever, go for an iPhone 10. You get these at a brilliant price nowadays, absolutely brilliant price, especially if you're buying it from somebody who has looked after it, like myself. You're pretty much getting a brand new blooming phone, because as long as it's been in a case and stuff like that, they haven't been getting it wet and stuff. Do you know what I mean? They're solid phones. You've only got to hold them in your hand to understand like how well they're built and designed. But the whole iOS experience, it's pretty much the same. Let's not mess around. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. Not very customizable, but it does what you want it to do. The apps are absolutely fantastic. It works faultlessly, and yeah, it's just a brilliant phone. So let's talk about battery life. This, now if I'm not mistaken, it's got around a 2700 milliamp battery for the iPhone 10. The iPhone 11 Pro Max has a 3900 and something milliamp battery. It's very close to a 4000 milliamp battery. Now compare that to batteries of the Android world, the Note 10 Plus, which has got a 4200 milliamp battery, the S10 Plus 5G, which has got a 4500 milliamp battery, the P30 Pro, which has also got a 4200 milliamp battery. Compare it to those phones, it's not as big, but because of how Apple optimized their software, it's an absolute monster, guys. It's a beast. This phone, oh, guaranteed, I'll be at work most of the day. I come home, I still have to put it on charge. Do you know what I mean? Like, absolutely bananas. Like, and I mean on charge, literally dead, battery dead, no good. You're walking around with a charger all the time. I travel a lot, I've always got a charger. You know, on the train, I'm plugged into a charger. This is different gravy. This is a battery champion. This is no blooming joke. Straight warrior status when it comes to battery. So what have they changed? This has haptic touch and this has 3D touch. If going to haptic touch has given me a bigger battery, then I'm all for it, because they have made this phone slightly thicker and slightly heavier, and gosh, if you've done that for the battery, Apple, thank you so much. Let's check out a spot of web browsing. Okay, there we are, audi.co.uk. If you do a lot of web browsing, the bigger screen will suit you, because you know we spend a lot of time on our screens, and you know you're looking at these little teeny screens all the time. They're not that brilliant for your eyes. Not good for your eyes at all. So for me, the bigger screen just makes a little bit of a difference for me. For security and authentication, you've got Face ID and you've got a PIN code, but it's absolutely on another level. So the thing I love, it's got NFC, but not like Android where it's compatible to anything. It's for card readers and stuff like that. But you know, for authentication, you know, it's all about Face ID. Absolutely love it. Used to love fingerprints, but oh my word, this is another level. You're at the checkout, need to pay for your food, and it's time to go. Boom, tap twice, Face ID, bing. That's straight 007, yeah? Straight 007. Shaken, not stirred. 4K Ultra HD? Yep. They're both fantastic phones. I just wanted to just sit down and have a, you know, like I say, I'm new to YouTube, so please like and subscribe. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to my other video, and I'm just going to keep these coming, guys. But I just wanted to, before this goes, I wanted to, you know, just give you a bit of a comparison and explain why I have gone from the iPhone 10 to the iPhone 11. My name is Matthew, I'm the Everyday Techie, and I hope you like my video on why I upgraded from the iPhone 10 to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Hit the subscribe, tap the like, you don't know already. Deuces.